welcome to RC Cincy. Today we have the Traxxas Spartan SR boat. We did the unboxing and overview on this boat. Really exciting. Really quickly before we set this boat up, these are the things I highly recommend you bring with you. If possible, to be on a canoe or boat for retrieval or another boat. I did bring my other packs that I can run. These big 7200s, we'll have to figure out how these balance and where we need to place them. We can also run a single 6S pack. You do need a jumper, which we do have in the bag. Make sure you bring a little bag of goodies with you because you do need a few components. So this is going to be our GNSS that we're going to use for speed testing. We're not going to do that today. We're going to really focus on dialing it in and figuring out how it behaves. Obviously, to check your voltage packs. Marine grease, you basically have to grease this every single time you take it out. It is greased from the factory, so I don't have to do it today, but I'm sure the next time I drive it I will. Double check your prop tightness, and then of course the jumper for the 6S. If you put this in, you can run a single 6S pack. We'll have to see placement and balance for all these batteries. We'll have to kind of figure that out depending on how choppy the water is as well. You got to move forward or back. Don't forget to bring the extra prop with you just in case that breaks or something. That way you don't want to end your session just because of a prop. And then a couple other tools if something else gets loose. That actually drop my prop. And don't forget to kind of look over everything each time you take it out just to make sure everything's nice and tight. So we'll go ahead and put this stuff back in the bag for now. Like I said, we're not going to do no GPS testing today because today we're going to be focused on just mating it and making sure everything works proper. So we're going to remove the lid. Don't forget your tool at home. You are going to need this to access this unless you change these to the tab ones, which are actually in the bag. So let's set this to the side. Let's pop this lid off. There's the lid right there. You definitely want to make sure, flying bug. You definitely want to make sure you tighten this tight when you're ready to take it out on the water. There is no water sensors or nothing like that. As soon as you plug in the batteries, it is on. So we want to make sure everything is just buttoned up. So we're going to grab these packs. The manual states that the further you go forward, the better it helps with choppy water. So we're going to go pretty forward. All the reviews and information I've seen online, a lot of guys recommend you move your packs towards the front, especially if you want to go fast. So today I'm not going to go all the way forward. I'm going to try to do a median balance between forward and back. So we're going to loosen all these straps. You could technically do Velcro in the bottom or something in the bottom to keep it from sliding. There is this material supposed to help. There is a material there supposed to help. There's 3 straps. Technically you can move this strap towards the front in this position, so you can move it forward. Give them a better view. There you go, honey. You can move that one there, or you can add one. So let's go ahead and figure out how we're going to place these nice long wires so we can have the wires go towards the front, adding a little more weight. We're probably going to stand them up on their side. These are hard cases. These are, by the way, brand new 3S 5200 120C packs with, of course, EC5 to handle good voltage. To the adapter, I don't want to cut this in case something happens, something melts. I can use Traxxas's warranty, which is I think minimum of 90 days or something, 30 days, I can't remember. So let's go ahead and place these in here. We're going to need to fit one more pack, being a dual. Let's go ahead and make sure they're facing upward. So we're going to slide these packs onto their little rubber feet. We're gonna do, let's move the connectors out of the way. We're gonna do them probably right here maybe. So maybe right here. So we're gonna just find a happy median. Keep them in the center, obviously. And we're gonna tighten these as tight as we can. We don't want them shifting or moving on us. So we're gonna keep it in the middle of both of these pads, kind of. And we're gonna go ahead and give it a nice tug. We don't wanna be too aggressive to break it, but we just want it nice and tug. We're gonna go ahead and do this other 3 straps. I recommend using all 3, possibly even Velcro in the future. Let's go ahead and make sure these are centered. Give it a nice pull on it. Same thing with this very last strap. It is a little windy. The water is a little bit choppy, not crazy. I almost have to move this battery back a little bit until I move the strap so let me loosen these. Wow, those two actually had it to where I couldn't move it. I'm gonna go back just a hair so I can get a bite of these batteries a little bit. I know it's on the end of it, but it's better than nothing. I will be moving that strap forward. I could almost tell you it's gonna need it. There we go. And then get these the same tightness because they worked really, really well. Those rubber things they do have in the bottom do work. Last strap. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're not going anywhere. So now we just have to connect them. Hopefully they're long enough. Pay attention to polarity, how they go. You can see those two notches go the same way. So one's gonna go here. And then the other one, hopefully, we lay it on this side of the ESC. We wanna make sure we match it up correctly. Everything is in. Let's make sure everything functions. And nothing. So did I plug that in correctly? Oh. You have to pay attention. It's like this. Now don't worry about the spark. It is high voltage batteries. There will be a spark. There we go. Telling us that everything is ready to go. We're gonna make sure the prop is clear. We don't want to run it too hard because it's not getting cooling. Of course, those trim functions, you can see it's already trimmed to one way. I did not touch these. This is the way they came out of the box. It says multi-function. One steering trim and one's probably for throttle maybe. We'll have to see, okay? So now that we know that we do have those two functionalities, we can't adjust the trim while we're driving the boat. We're just gonna have to see how it behaves. So you wanna make sure you seat this properly. Get a nice, you do not want this cover coming off. You'll have to buy a new one, and that's one thing I don't wanna do. So I'm gonna make sure that this cover is seated and locked in all the way. I'm gonna try to pull on it, make sure all the way to your right. Left is loose, right is locked. And this one, there's the way it goes on, that's locked. See, there's a little notch there, it goes on only one way. Lock, pull up on it. Oh yeah, that is nice and tight. So that is ready to go. What we'll do is we'll just grab this bag, set it down there. So at this point, we're gonna pause so we can get safely down there and pay attention when we're walking because there's brush and stuff cut. She's gonna be as close to me as possible. It is a little windy. I apologize for the wind noise in advance. I should have brought my mic and I did not. I forgot it at home. So she'll be as close as she can to me. I'll try to do as little talking as possible in driving so you guys can see this boat perform. So we'll be right back once we get down there. There we go. A little harder to launch over here. Just gotta let water fill in and it's gonna flip. So the self-righting system does work. So it works. We tested the self-righting system.
That bird was gonna get you, honey.
Oh, is it? so fast. I can't even go full throttle without flipping, so the batteries definitely need to go nose heavy, and we need some new trim tabs and fins for that. But it's got potential. That's crazy potential. Sharp turn. Oh, smiling ear to ear. This is so much fun. Battery's starting to get a little low, so only 5,200. So. Does have. Watch that log right there. I'm going to bring it in right through here between these two. There is a little bit of a current, so I'm going to go really easy. There we go. Right up to us. Gonna let all the water run out. So what we're going to do...
How's the prop look?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna pause because we gotta climb up this steep hill, and then we'll show you guys the results, what happened the first run and then the second run, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that was so much fun. I'm smiling ear to ear. The first time I launched it, I didn't do so good. I sent it out, and I thought I sent it out, it was floating. I thought I was in enough water. I guess there was a little stick just under the water. I couldn't see it, and it got hung up and it hit the prop. And I goosed it. You don't ever goose it when you first launch. You just put it to get it out. Well, of course, I goosed it, and I broke the prop all the way on this side and all the way on that side. So this prop is junk. So I will be ordering a metal one. I know metal one's about $30, but you won't be buying, you know, I don't know how much these are a piece, but you won't be buying so many of these props. So yeah, the first one was so good. The second one was amazing. We didn't do our GNSS, so we didn't get no top speed yet. Water isn't too bad, a little choppy, but not terrible. So we did smoke one of the props already. It happens. So you can see this is the actual size of what it should look like. And yeah, I got it good. But no foul, no harm. Everything else is fine. I didn't bend or break anything else or loosen anything else. It kind of caught the rudder a little bit, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and get our tool and get these batteries unplugged. Do you remember how long the runtime was of the video, honey? No. What I'll do is I'll post it in the comment. So I'm not good at editing. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. So I'm gonna have to post it in the description and say, hey, a 5200 twin 3S pack system gave me this much runtime. Now I couldn't go full throttle because it would flip up. The batteries definitely need, 5200s definitely need to go all the way forward, which I will be doing next time. I will be moving that butter strap from the back to the front. That's the very first free mod. I wouldn't even waste your time. I would do that immediately. Let's go ahead and unlock these. So there's a little key, a little notch there. Unlock. We can also see how much water is in here. and if we have any leaks anywhere. You can test it in a tub. I feel like the tub is the best place to test your boat. Set it in a tub of water or in a tub and see where water comes in at. Give it a little, give it a little gas, be careful, and just see where the water's coming in, if there is any water coming in. Let's break this seal. The seal isn't bad. The seal, there's water on the seal.
There's water here.
Water there. I'm willing to bet, see how loose this jacket is, so you can move it with your hand, see that? I'm willing to bet water comes from the jacket. I don't know if it comes from anywhere else. Now, you might think this is bad. This is absolutely nothing. This amount of water in your boat when you get done running it is nothing. So let's go ahead and immediately take away the power danger. You can see this strap needs to definitely be in the front. Let's go ahead and unstrap these. Go ahead and remove them out of the boat. And let's go ahead and test. So in the description, I will put, these were 100% full this morning. I charged them last night or this morning, can't remember. I think it was last night. Yeah. So we're at 19%, 3.7, basically just below storage voltage. I do not take my batteries below 3.7. So that is literally perfect. You could do a voltage alarm and set it for 3.7, but this way I don't wreck these brand new batteries. Let's test the other one, see if one's drawing more than the other. On the money, they're both around 3.7, all the cells. That's what you want, 22%. Basically, right at the storage mark. These are hard cases, they're harder to see warmth. They do not feel warm at all. These are 120 punchy batteries, so they're absolute monsters. So, once again, I'll put the voltages and the timeline I got for that run. Now, the first run, like I said, I smoked the prop. I don't think I bent or loosened anything else on this. Very little water. Let's go ahead and just evacuate the water. Immediately get it out. Do not leave it in there, ever. So shake it, go from end to end. Oh, that was a lot more water there. I wonder if something would come out of the hose. Oh, and the self-righting system in this tank. You know the part. So we tested the self-righting, honey. Remember it was upside down? And it did take a while. Giving it throttle kind of rocked it a little bit, but you don't need to do that. All you need to do is let nature take its course. Water come in through here, and it fills this little reservoir on this side. And once it fills enough, it will literally roll the boat this way, and then when you give it gas, it all expels out of the back. So it's a very ingenious system. It works perfectly fine. I feel completely confident. Yes, is it better to have a rescue boat and a canoe or some kind of boat? Absolutely. What if you had a piece of debris and get stuck out in the middle of the lake? You know, you have to rent a bring a boat or a raft or something, or a kayak. So just be mindful of that. I do have friends that have kayaks, so I could always borrow one and rescue my boat if I had to. But you always want to make sure this is dry and just get all of the water out of it. I don't see it leaking. The tanks themselves don't look like they're leaking or anything like that. Like I said, the best way to really know where it's coming from is have this lid off, have it in the water, push it down to the proper water level, and just see where it's coming from. Maybe give it some gas, see if it's coming from the jacket. It honestly feels dry around my jacket, so I don't know. Maybe there's a little drop there. It's hard to say until I literally test it in the tub, which I will be doing because I'm going to clean this. There's no really way to know. What are my thoughts on this boat? It's incredible. $400 right now, $404 on sale is incredible. It give you 2 props. There's a reason they did that, because I smoked my first prop. So that's awesome they did that. Like I said, bring that stuff with you. If I wouldn't have brought that extra prop and that tool with me, guess what? I'd have been going home and never even drove my boat. So be prepared, have a tool bag, have extra batteries, have everything you could possibly have extra for this boat with you. So all my parts are gonna go in this. I'm gonna get a little boat bag. I got an extra backpack somewhere. I'll just do a backpack with like the batteries and everything, so that way we can carry a bag and throw a backpack on. And then even have like a little, put a strap for the boat on the back. That'd be cool. So one thing I'm gonna have to do once this dries and I get home is I'm gonna have to re-grease my shaft. Do that every time. You're gonna have to recharge your batteries once you let them simmer, let them sit for a while. And then I just use this to tighten the prop. This is what you need for the prop itself. Now trimming. They did a great job trimming it out of the factory. Wherever they put this trim knot, is how it was going straight. So I don't know if they tested it or if they know where it needs to go. I turned the multifunction dual rates or throttle all the way up. I think that's what that is. I'll have to test that, but I think that's what it is. It was like about here, just like the steering trim was about right there, and this was about right there. So that's how they were from the factory. The menu set thing is for the Bluetooth module. You get a Bluetooth module, it'll tell you a bunch of information. I may consider doing that review for you guys. If you guys want to see that for this boat, that would be awesome. I would love to get the Bluetooth module. But out of the box, it's not bad, but it ain't good either. You have to be aware of a few things, where the batteries are, how heavy. I would never, ever, ever go below these 5200s. To be honest with you, I am glad that I brought my twin pack of 72s. Now, these are older batteries. These are not new. These are about as old as my excavators are, and I only typically used one. So they took forever to charge. I'm hoping they do okay. They're at 99%. They're 80C. They're not 120 like my other ones. They do have the same Traxxas connectors, so I don't have to cut or splice anything. XT30 is like at its limit, in my opinion, for 3S. But it does work. 4S, it may be able to do, but 80C isn't too crazy. And then, of course, we have the big dog, 5200 120C 6S single pack. Now, I would imagine, I don't know, man, this one almost feels heavier. So the more weight, the better. Obviously, you're gonna get better run time because you have two of these. So you're basically running these in series. So you have, no, it's the same amount. What am I talking about? Series basically allows this two 3S's to become a 5200 6S. Now, if you're running these two in parallel, which I plan on doing at some point because I got to figure out the wiring on that, because that's wired for series. See, the way that's wired is series. You would have to change that to parallel function, which maybe can be done with a jumper, but I'm worried of putting this much voltage through that thickness of a wire. So if I wanted parallel, I'd probably have to modify that, which I don't plan on doing anytime right now. But I do want to try a single 6S 120C pack to see how it performs. That'll be a separate video. We're kind of getting ate up. It's getting late. We have other things to do, but I'm glad we came out for the Maiden. The first launch was disappointing. The second one was a lot better. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to run the 72s today, to be honest with you. I may have to come back and run those. I think these are heavier. I know. These are way, way heavier. So I think this weight's gonna be immense. Any of these weights, I think it's just gonna go all the way forward to keep that front end down. So definitely move your strap from this position to here, right off the bat. And then don't buy anything smaller than a 5200 52. Twin 64s or 72s would be great. Or I've heard of even guys doing 10,000 milliamps. So it just depends on what you want to achieve with it, how long of a run time. All you're going to do is increase the run time. And the more weight, probably the better. There is a point where you get too much weight in front, possibly. I don't know. I'm not a big boat guy. I've had boats over the years, but this is probably my biggest, most powerful boat I've had yet. Now, I've driven bigger, 30cc gassers and other ones, and I've driven the original Spartan, but this one is way better in my opinion. The motor's to the back as the other one should have been. The placement of the batteries is good. You just have to move the strap over, which they give you the option to do so. Those rubber things do keep your batteries from sliding. Everything feels solid in the back after that run. I did smoke the prop, but that's okay. Everything else seems fine. That's already almost dry again. I'd have to put grease here, put some grease there. Once I clean it and dry it, I'm gonna make sure everything is nice and greased. Don't worry if it flings it anywhere inside there, who cares? It's better to be greased. And it actually helps with water sealing. So like you can actually put grease like on these boots and in the boot and stuff, and like on the shafts and anywhere where it meets rubber, like it actually can help stop some minor leaks to an extent. There's something in its way of the water. So especially as you're moving. So yeah, the servo did fine. Everything feels tight, nothing came loose. Nothing's damaged. I did throw it, and like I said, it caught the bottom. I wonder if any of these fins caught it. Nope, that one didn't. This one did for sure, but it did absolutely nothing to it. You can see the pickups. The pickup on it. Should be somewhere over here. Make sure there's nothing else in there. No, it looks good. Everything's solid. Nothing broke loose. Make sure your tubes are clear. There's not any debris in your tubes. Everything just looks good. Just a solid performer. Fast. I mean, fast. That's a 120 C5200, and it's fast. So definitely a monster boat, a fun boat. I recommend it. Is it gonna need tweaks and stuff if you wanna do top speed runs and better performance? Absolutely, any product you get out of the box. You don't run it stock, no one does. So move the battery strap, look into metal props, hands down. Look into these being longer and anodized metal like this. Boat Blitz, I think is something like that. I'll leave it in the description below. These two right here need to be replaced. And then these, you'll get adjustable ones where this one has to be flush, and this one has to be like flush, and then the other one has to be like 2 millimeters down. These are actually pre-adjusted. You can see one's a little bit higher than the other. You just have to kind of do it with the new ones and adjust them where they need to be. You can go on the forums groups like the Spartan SR forum group. They have the M41 on there and the Disruptor as well. All their Traxxas boats, so it's like a big group for all of them. And they really give you helpful tips. You know, they talk about the anodized, you know, replacement for this, the better parts for everything, all the bits and bobs. They talk about different ESCs. They talk about the motor jackets that leak and you get a metal one. So I'll be ordering the metal jacket and the prop for now, and then go and see what difference that makes, because this is going to be for leaking more or less, and this is going to be for not breaking when it barely hits a little tiny limb, you know what I mean? Which is kind of my fault. I don't really blame the boat. At the same time, it's kind of, I guess, designed to break than bend or do anything else bad to it. Yeah, just, you can see where it needs to be greased. You can always see a little bit of algae. I did get some string wrapped around this as well the first time when I broke the prop. There was also a little bit of string. So watch these fishing lakes. There is like bobbers and string and stuff. And if it doesn't act right, it doesn't seem like I did, you immediately come back. You don't want to burn that motor up having something wrapped around this. You put a lot of load, a lot of tension, a lot of bad juju on your thing. Now, yeah. And these are bushings, and you can't get the upgraded ones with the bigger, thicker, you know, drive shafts or the shafts, you know, instead of a bushing, bearings, you name it, they got it for this boat. Blitz, I believe it is. And I'll be definitely trying out some of their products, and we'll slowly kind of upgrade it and go from there. But Maiden run was amazing. I love this boat. It is beautiful. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Stay tuned for more. We're gonna be coming back out here. We're doing some speed runs. We may even do some upgrades in the near future. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.